what's good, y'all? Listen, look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not? Don't get your fucking pro.
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion, and destruction they must dislike and hate with a passion.
Peace, 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 and be one. Hello. So good to be here. Another day, another dollar, another hate, another holler. But be one to the family. You know, we have a lot of catching up to do. It's a lot of things that's been going on. I actually need to do it in other news. This was going to be that, but I thought it would run too long. So I'm going to do this particular topic today. And I'll probably double back and do it in other news tomorrow. You feel me? Because there are some other things I do want to talk about. I actually did a video about one of them, and I might mess around and scratch that video and just talk about it in other news tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Let me try it. I'm gonna try to edit it tonight and see what it's looking like. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the news, to say the least. All right. Shout out to the chat. What up to the moderators? What up, Z? What up? Oh, late. I'm so sorry. So sorry for being late. My bad. I was supposed to start 30 minutes ago. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I was still getting some stuff together for the live. I had to kind of organize. I got a lot of tabs. So I was like, let me organize how I'm about to pull these joints up right quick before I get on here. Because I didn't send them to myself in order. So that took a little longer than I expected. So sorry for the tardiness. All right. But we're here with it. Hope y'all have a wonderful week though. And hope you're going into the weekend well. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, you don't catch this. I hope you catch me tomorrow. If not, catch me on the playback. Catch the playback tomorrow too. So we got some things. Now y'all boy, Trump, DJ T, he recently has been calling for, not even calling for, because at this point they're already here. He was calling for different parts of federal agencies to come to DC because he's trying to crack down on crime. All right. He's trying to get the crime rate down, which is very interesting at this particular time. We're going to talk about why in a moment. But yeah, that's what his reason was. So we got all the ABC boys is here, y'all. From ICE to DEA to DHS to FBI to everybody is here. Okay, DC is hot as hell. I know I live in a DMV. I don't live in DC, thank God. Okay, I would not live in DC. Look at one of these being the reasons why. But a multitude of other reasons as well. I have no desire to live in DC for real. But I live in Maryland. Okay, not too far from DC. I'm like 15 minutes away. Not too far for real. But I haven't really seen any agents out here in my area. Let me say that. And I'm in the DMV. I'm in the metropolitan area, so I haven't seen any of these agents in my particular area. But in DC, yeah, for sure, definitely. And I don't even be in DC like that. You know, just the times that I've rode over there, I've definitely seen some of the people out there. It's real. Okay, DC hot as hell. I'm not going out. That's part of the reason why I haven't been out, okay, in DC, because I know I had no time for all right, no, I don't got no time for no police. I'm definitely not trying to get involved with no federales. I'm good. So yeah, definitely staying out of DC for the moment, okay. So yeah, let me get into that first. Get a good breakdown of what's going on exactly, why he's bringing them out here, who, what, when, where. Let's get into all that jazz real quick. Hi Zizi, hello. Oh, BX in the chat. What's up, BX? Just peeking in to say hi. Rashard, what's good, Zizi? What's up? Appreciate BX stepping in. Shout out to BX. She our moderator on Afro's live. She be moderating the chat. It's cool. And moderating the live in general. So she should be doing the thing. And she be one. She be on point. FBA. Okay. All right, but yeah, so let me get into this article right quick because Trump pledged to have a crackdown on crime in DC. So let's see what he was talking about. I will play this clip. Oh, you know what? Because there is a couple clips I'm going to play actually. So let me just get this out the way early. My bad, y'all. 2 seconds or 1 minute, whatever. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Alrighty. So, do I want to play this clip? This is Watch Trump announce deployment. This is just him announcing it, though. He's probably going to say whatever he's going to say inside the article. I'm going to just read and go off that. President Donald Trump said he was deploying the National Guard to Washington, D.C. And taking control of the city's police force as he pledged to crack down on crime and homelessness in the city. Oh, yes, and homelessness. I forgot. How could I forget about that part? Not only crime, but homelessness. All right. Trump declared a public safety emergency on Monday, deploying 800 National Guard troops to bolster hundreds of federal law enforcement officers who were deployed over the weekend. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness, he told reporters at the White House. The city's mayor, Muriel Bowser, has rejected the president's claim about crime, and while there was a spike in 2023, statistics show that it has fallen since then. Violent crime in the city is also at a 30-year low. So that's why I said it's an interesting time for him to be doing this right now because crime has actually dropped. So that's interesting. And you're bringing the National Guard out and the FBI and all these other ABC boys out for homeless people. Really? That's interesting. Okay. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse, Trump said during a news conference in which he was flanked by U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who will lead the city's police force while it's under federal control. This Liberation Day in D.C. is this is a Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. Huh. All right. Kind of sound like them people from what was that, January 6th? All right. That was his people though. Trump said Washington, D.C. had been taken over by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, as well as drugged out maniacs and homeless people. Again, very interesting time to say that because D.C. is so damn gentrified. I mean, DC still got some parts that are, what I'm saying, you got the churches, but a lot of the like the hoodest parts of DC that where it used to be, when I was growing up, it's not the same as it is now. Like you got non-black people jogging through neighborhoods, rainbow flags everywhere, all types of it's definitely different. Okay, it's not really. I wouldn't say it's bloodthirsty criminals and taken over by bloodthirsty criminals and gang violence. I don't know about that. According to data from the city's metropolitan police department, homicides dropped by 32% between 2023 and 2024 and reached their lowest level since 2019. Okay. There's been another substantial drop this year of 12%, the data shows. Mayor Bowser, a Democrat, acknowledged that there had been a terrible spike in the crime in 2023, which mirrored a national trend, but she pushed back against any claims of crime wave in the city. We are not experiencing a crime spike. The president is very aware of our efforts. When we asked about when White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller's comment that the Washington is more violent than Baghdad, what? Why the hell would they say that? Bowser said any comparison to a war-torn country is hyperbolic and false. Yeah, that's just outrageous. Comparing it to Baghdad is insane. That's absolutely all right. There you're really dragging it. Like that's kind of crazy. But this is to talk about the homicide rate, how it's been going down. That's a chart to show how it's been going down. But the Democratic it says the Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries also criticized Trump's move and said it had no basis in law. The Trump administration has consistently broken the law and violated the Constitution to further the personal and political agenda of a wannabe king, Jeffrey said. Meanwhile, Donald Trump and cowardly Republicans have done nothing to make life more affordable for everyday Americans. Now, he has consistently broken the law and violated. Okay, he has no basis in law. That's not necessarily true. He's not really. This is based on law. He definitely has the right to be doing what he's doing. We're about to get into that. Actually, can we get up off of this article? I think that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. But yeah, so no, he actually does have a basis in law to do what he's doing. Not to say that I'm backing that because I'm not for the feds coming into black spaces. Those are the places they're predominantly targeting and patrolling us. I'm not with that. Okay. Now I do want to get into should I get into Mayor Bowser. I am actually going to get into her. That's how I'm going to come. We're going to circle back to him having a basis in law, him breaking the law and all this other stuff, being unconstitutional. But do I want to play this little news clip first? Let me play this news clip right quick, just so we can get a little more context, so y'all can understand what's happening, going on in the city. I'm gonna play this little news clip real quick before I get into Mayor Browser thoughts on it.
Or more coming over the hill.
Tyree Steve District are sounding off about the rising threat of a federal takeover. There's been an increase of federal law enforcement along the streets. One man who lives in Deanwood told us about his encounter with those federal officers last night. Here's Melissa Kim.
We spoke to people who live here in this Deanwood community who tell me they were stunned to find at least 30 federal officers on this block just after midnight.
We saw like 10 cars or more coming over the hill.
Tyree Stevenson, better known to this community as Gotti, is a third-generation Deanwood resident, and the federal presence he saw in the early morning hours in this stretch of 48th Street Northeast was unusual.
When they get out, they hop out with their guns in their hand, telling people, come here, come here, come here, come here. It's kind of scary, you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, then shots went off. Pow, 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 pow. Right here. You know what I'm saying? We down here.
Ring camera video from the neighborhood shows flashing lights in an alleyway.
Sorry, kind of suspected that, you know, there was going to be activity in the city. I just didn't expect they were going to come all the way over Deanwood.
Anthony Lorenzo Green represents part of Deanwood as its ANC commissioner. He was woken up to all of the unexpected noise.
There's no concern for my community when you're pulling up firing shots at people.
He walked with us from his home to where this all happened. He says his neighbors felt confused and scared.
We were all sitting out here like, why was all this necessary?
He feels as a lifelong DC resident, the Trump administration's actions are too much.
And I feel that the federal government has overstepped what we feel is their limits, right? There should be an understanding between the District of Columbia and the federal government about how we govern ourselves. We have home rule for a reason.
Because of its safety and crime the president is worried about, Green has some thoughts to add to his agenda.
Or is he going to come pick up our trash next? Is that what I should expect? We do have areas with high grass that he can cut. I have infrastructure problems in my community. Can he put some funding on the table for that?
He shouldn't be making those kind of decisions. That's more like a dictator.
Gotti thinks that if this is the way the administration is going to continue,
everybody now is in like a big old gumbo pot of, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't know what you're going to get served.
That was Melissa Kim reporting with that story. Well, last night, MTPD participated in a federal task force operation just after midnight during an attempted stop off Metro property. A suspect produced a firearm. An MTPD officer discharged their weapon in response, but the suspect was not struck. No one was injured, including that officer. 2 people were taken into custody. 2 firearms were recovered. We're told that it remains under investigation.
Yeah. So yeah, it's egregious. But they are definitely out here harassing brothers. Do I got that? I want to show actually a few videos I can show about that. That's online all up and down through TikTok, talking about people recording these officers like harassing them on the streets, whether they're just walking down the street, they standing around outside their neighborhood. Y'all know, smoking in DC, marijuana is not even a big deal, you know what I'm saying? Like it's recreational, DC and Maryland. So like honestly, pre this, you could walk down the street, smoke a J, like it's nobody's about to be, hey, come here, what do you got on you? Like nobody's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really not that big of a deal. You can ride down, you ain't got to worry about riding down the street, smoking your car, you know what I'm saying, boxed out. It's not like you're not getting pulled for that type of stuff in DC, okay? But since these federal agents have been out there, a lot of the videos that I've seen online, brothers is outside just smoking a J, they walking up, oh yeah, y'all, it's illegal, y'all can't be out here smoking weed, you can have 2 ounces on you, you can have up to 2 ounces on you, but you can't be having weed on you. So now we can check you, now we can run your IDs, we can detain you. So yeah, they've been trying to rope people up out here off petty stuff, you know. Again, that's been recreational for a little minute now, and like again, it's really has not been that big of a deal, even pre-recreation. To be honest, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It's not at least as much not as in other states. So yeah, they are definitely doing picking up on anything, you know, pretty much this is like stop and frisk, all the 2.0. This is like stop and frisk 2.0. So yeah, just to get you. So but a brother inside that clip did mention home rule. And that's one of the things that Mayor Browser brings up. Now, she did an interview on the Breakfast Club, but I'm not playing any clips. They be copyrighting their clips. I don't got time. Okay. So I did watch, and it wasn't long. It was like 10 minutes. I just got like a little summary of it. And I'm bringing it back to that home rule thing because the brother mentioned that, and that's something that is exclusive to DC. Unlike other states, or states, should I say, because DC isn't a state, it doesn't have full autonomy. So they have this thing that's called limited home rule. All right. And that home rule, they go by a charter, and that charter gives permission to the president, okay, to declare an emergency at almost any time, pretty much for any reason. Okay, there's a listed amount of reasons up there, but Mary, the way she said it, the way she put it inside the interview was basically that it's pretty much up to his say so. So yeah, and he's supposed to direct the mayor, which is her, to allow the MPD to be, you know, available to him, the police department to be available to Trump at his discretion. She also mentioned how she wasn't advised about the National Guard even being brought in. She basically found out what everybody else found out late. Nobody from his team come and hit her up about that. She says that she thinks, she also said that she thinks that DC is a proxy. She said she thinks that Trump is using DC as a proxy to see if he can get away with this in other cities. Because if he could do it here, he can pretty much do it anywhere. He's trying to normalize the federal government policing local cities. So yeah, there was a couple other things she touched on. Mayor Browser also said, let me say the Breakfast Club. She touched on how the crime rate was at its lowest last year, or lowest in the last 30 years. Last year, she also talked the dangers of having the DEA, FBI, and other federal agencies patrol the streets but not be trained for that. I'm gonna double back on that point too. It's another brother who's going to make that point as well later on and pull up his video. But yeah, you do got people walking. That's a problem. You know, the police, MPD already harasses people by them alone. Okay, and these are local police officers. So you're talking about people from a federal level, when you go federal, you're talking about people from across the country. This is not these are not locals coming to the city. These are people from everywhere across the country coming to this one city that are not trained to do the very little bit that MPD at least is trained to do. They're not trained to interact with locals the way that MPD is. So if the local police is barely getting that shit right, what makes you think some feds is going to come in and do a better job? They're probably not. They're going to do worse. Okay. Because the way they operate is different. So it's you know what I'm saying? Again, even the petty drug thing, it's like, that's not something that's, you know, MPD, they might harass you about something like that if they really being petty, like on a bullshit day. But regularly, especially if you're going out off the late night, if there's a lot of people out, it's a festival, like, you know, if it's a lot of people just out and about, that's not really, it's such a common thing to see somebody walking around or smoking a J, having weed. Even in Maryland, that's a common thing to see. That like, it's not really something for you to get pulled over. But with a Fed who's not used to seeing that, you know, that's something they might pull you for. That's something they might, you know what I'm saying, try to stop you for, because they know that that's the law. But to them, it's a more, you know, that's something that they prioritize more because they're not used to that being so normalized here. So yeah, little things like that, definitely something to look out for. We don't trust the police. Okay. Let me see. What was I about to say? And how DC differs from states because National Guard. Yeah, I just put that little note in there. Mayor Browser also said that that's another way that DC differentiates from states, is that they would be, because we don't have a governor, or they don't have a governor. They report to the president. That's why he didn't have to go to her to advise her about the National Guard coming in, because he has the power to do that because he's the president. Okay. He's like the stand-in governor more so, or like the governor's like a stand-in president, however you want to put it. But yeah, we don't have a governor, so yeah. President, the say so goes straight to the president. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not about to play her clip off the Breakfast Club again. Not gonna do that, but that is basically a summary of some of the things that she was talking about up there. I do have this other clip of her though. She was on Fox. Let me play this little clip. I'm just gonna play some of this. It's her and the police chief up here, DC police chief up here. So or MPD, you know what I mean. Police chief though, and they're up here answering a couple questions too. So let me just play a little bit of this.
Bowser, we've gotten to the first night of this federal surge. What do you want the people of DC to know in regards to the coordination with the city in this regard?
Well, I want them to know that their chief of police, our chief of police, Pamela Smith, who has years and years of experience working both at the local level and the federal level, is working with federal law enforcement partners to help deploy the surge resources, the additional resources in a way that is going to help us continue to drive down crime.
What does that look like, Chief Smith? How will this work? Will certain areas receive more coverage? What's the details on the strategic plan?
So what I'll say is this. We have heard from many of our community members since I've been here over the last 2.5 years. And one of the things that has been very concerning for me is areas around the city where there's crime. And we have our officers in certain places. This is a great opportunity for us to build upon continuing to drive down crime with our federal law enforcement partners. And what that looks like is the U.S. Marshal has an inter-agency incident management team where we will assist them with coordinated efforts around our city. I mean, you've been here, you've reported out on different areas around our city where we've seen spikes in crime. So what we're going to do is build upon that and working collaboratively with our U.S. Marshals, our DEA, and all of the other federal partners here to ensure that we're placing resources around our city in those areas where we've seen an impact, an increase in crime.
The White House announced 23 arrests last night, including a homicide, DUI, fare evasion, and other crimes.
Yeah, but see, the way that they talk is real slick though, because she says that they're in those areas that with high crime, we're going to place those resources. But the resources that they're talking about is just over policing. So, that there is no real resource to help the crime. That's ultimately what the problem is. Y'all, this is a band-aid to the real solution. Okay, this is a temporary answer to something that needs a permanent solution. Okay, and that's because of the unjust system that we're under. All right, these egregious conditions that we are in. Those have to be fixed in order for these to have true and effective solutions. In order for it to be true and effective solutions. So bringing in more police is never going to be the answer to poverty. Okay, and crime. That's not going to be it. Okay.
Is that on par with what we generally see on a weeknight in DC, more or less?
Not necessarily. I mean, remember, you're talking about 500 additional personnel in the District of Columbia. And as you know, we've talked about the fact that we're down in numbers with our police officers. And so this enhanced presence clearly is going to impact us in a positive way.
You said a positive way, Chief, but there are some concerns if it is a positive or a negative. Some people may are right in the middle. Do you believe this makes DC safer?
This is what I know, and this is what the chief was alluding to, Marissa. We have been, over the last several years, focused on hiring more MPD officers. We're at just over 3,100 officers. We like to be at 3,800 officers. So to the extent that you see the federal surge creating more arrests, taking more guns, MPD with MPD officers would do the same thing. So I think that we need to be very, very focused on how we recruit, retain officers, how we make sure our policy environment promotes accountability for people who use guns in our city. And those things combined will make our city safe.
What about?
I think she tried. You give MPD a little bit too much credit there, talking about it's just because it's a few hundred of them that came in and we're a few hundred short. So they're just making up where we were lacking off, and it's kind of balancing out. And now they're just they're the crimes. I mean the amount of people that they're arresting and the crimes that they're solving, it's only like that because they're making up the portion of MPD that we're missing. No, even if y'all did have all 3,800, Let's just be real. I don't think y'all will be as effective. The feds are definitely more effective for sure. They're the feds. They know how to catch. You know what I'm saying? Catch who they gonna catch. Okay. The feds is not about losing. So yeah, they just playing a different ball game. Okay, that's why I said they come there. That's not the solution because they coming in just to lock niggas up. Okay, the solution is not to just be locking a bunch of people up. Okay, for petty ass reasons. But that's what's going to happen, and so that's what we're seeing. If it was just MPD, no, I think MPD is still just as incompetent. It will be just as incompetent with that extra few hundred, and the numbers will still probably be below. Let's just be real.
How people who are concerned if someone approaches them and goes, hey, I'm a federal agent, how should they react? And will MPD still be the main and lead agency responding to 911 calls?
So we're going to respond to those calls together. If the team is out there, it's a collaborative effort right now, right? We have partnered with our federal law enforcement agencies that are here. And so we go to respond to a call for service anywhere across the city. We will be partnered with our federal partners and we'll work together.
But those agents will be identifiable for people who are concerned about that.
They are identifiable. They have their own agency logos. They have their exterior vests, whether it's HSI, whether it's FBI.
Yeah, I'm going to show a couple of videos, so y'all can see. But yeah, they saying that they're working together. Some of the stuff that I've seen, I don't know if we're going to see it in the videos that I've selected. We'll see what as I go through them. But some of the videos I've seen, this is just the feds working by themselves. Well, at least it look like it's just the feds by themselves. It don't look like it's NPD and the feds. Okay, it look like the feds out there doing whatever the hell they please. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so not to say that, because some of the videos I did see, it was the feds and MPD, but I don't know. It's kind of given they doing what the hell they want out there. But I'm about to show a couple videos right now. We're gonna get into it, but no, let me just make sure. I think that was the last question I really wanted to hear from
DEA. They have the visible agency logo, so you will know who they are.
Right. Mayor Bowser, I understand you met with Attorney General Pam Bondi and others yesterday.
My bad. I just seen this comment. Absolutely. That's what they should be doing. You should have brought their asses out there for that. Exactly, to go get them damn illegals. Not to be out here worried about us. Okay. And speaking of that, I'm glad you said that too. I was going to touch on that as well. People trying to act like this is some sort of like, oh, well, we told y'all ICE was going to come for y'all because ICE is one of the agencies that's participating in this federal takeover. But ICE is going to come for y'all. We told y'all that y'all will be next. And it's like, this is not that. Nobody's getting deported. Okay, like, what are you talking about? They're taking Negroes to jail or here on American soil. So what are we? This is not no damn. Oh yeah, well we told you. It's like, no, I'm still not about to be out here protesting for no damn against no damn ICE for no immigrants. I'm not doing that. Okay. So yeah, this is not the little fake gotcha moment. Some people want to act like that it is. It's not. That's not what this is, baby. Okay. They're doing this is not something that's completely new. Okay. Police coming into our neighborhoods and attack. That's something that's been done for years now in America, historically. So yeah, but yeah, it's not the same.
One question I've gotten repeatedly since is, what is the gauge or the measure of success when it comes to this 30-day period? You get any insight on that yesterday?
Well, I think, and I want to thank Attorney General Bondi. I reached out to her. I asked for the meeting. She set it up in less than 24 hours. She also had all of her senior team meetings, including directors of major agencies like the FBI, the DEA, and the Marshal Service. We had our directors, deputy mayor, the chief, and all of my senior management, so that we are talking through our issues. So just like the executive order says, that we're coordinating through Attorney General Bondi's office. We certainly want to know what we're being measured against, and I think they regard it as a success to have more presence and to take more guns off the street. And we do too. That's what MPD works on every single day, is taking guns off the street. But they also said that this is a surge and that we are looking to evaluate it in the 30 days that the order lays out.
Okay, so you didn't get any hard,
No,
measure, but
we didn't get any hard measure. And again, we know how the feelings of crime and perceptions of crime are sometimes different than seeing numbers go down. And we've seen numbers go down, let me be clear. Over the last 2 years, we have reached a 30-year low in violent crime. What the chief and all of us hear from time to time, though, is that we don't want any crime. And if we are able to put more police on the streets, we want to grow our numbers at MPD because we know that being able.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't think more police is the answer. That's not gonna do for me. Let me get into a couple of these clips right quick though. Really quick. Of what's going on out there. I mean, it's going on out there as well because it's egregious. Hold on, let me see. This is one clip I seen. This is off Bennett Road. Hold up. This is off Bennett Road in DC, and this is just some girls who rode past, and they seen all these officers in this damn alley. It looked like they were going against. I don't know if they was trying to go get somebody or what the case was, but these are clearly some officers on the
wow,
alley.
come on, let's go. Oh my God.
Racking them over there. There's a rack in them, and I think it looks like it's a neighborhood they might be. I don't know if they invading this neighborhood or what, but it's a rack. Insane. Hold up. It's another one right here. Oh, hold. I want to play that clip first. Nah, I'm not gonna play that clip first. I'm gonna play this clip right here as well. Hold up.
To be released. Good morning. This is Commissioner Anthony Lorenzo Green, and it is like over 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm down here at 48th Street Northeast and Kane Place. President Trump and his Gestapo paid a visit to Deanwood tonight. Metro Transit Police and along with other police agencies shot at individuals on 48th Street. Thankfully, no one was hit, but there were 2 people detained. I'm still waiting for one of those individuals to be released. They've been holding them hostage in the alley in the neighborhood for a couple of hours now. And it's my understanding because he didn't do anything. He's an innocent bystander, but they decided to grab him and detain him. There were several police agencies out here, MPD, FBI, DEA, ICE, HSI, you name it. All the police resources you can name was out here in the community. Sheriff Row is still blocked off right now. So all the people that love to waste our tax dollars on all this police coverage in this city, let me tell you, a chunk of it is sitting right here in Deanwood doing nothing. So it's a shame that our community has to go through this in a city where everyone likes to pretend like this is something that just started happening when this president got in office. Fed's been invading our neighborhoods for years. Deanwood,
Can I just say that? I'm waiting.
Is no stranger to a long list of federal agencies coming into our community to start nonsense. And tonight is no different. The only difference is that the president made an announcement that he was doing this. So here we are, 2 a.m. in the morning, waiting for an individual to be released. So everybody can go to sleep and go about their business. Maybe one of the elected officials that serve on the council that get paid to serve us will speak up and say something. Maybe our mayor will speak up and say something. I don't really care. But what I do care about is the safety of the residents in my community, ensure that they are not being hindered, impacted, and harassed, targeted by any entity in this city whatsoever. Deanwood don't play that. We have no shame about pushing back and fighting back when necessary. But tonight, we're just waiting patiently right now for one of the individuals to be released.
Well, hopefully, I didn't see a follow-up video for that, but hopefully that brother was released. Shout out to Bennett Road. Shout out to Deanwood. That's where my grandmother from. But yeah, so yeah, shout out to them brothers over there. Hopefully they was good. But yeah, I told y'all it's a rack of the police. He said DH. Well, I didn't even hear all the ones that he said. DEA, FBI, hella police agencies, federal agencies out there. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if all of these. He did say it was MPD out there as well. But all of these interactions, the MPD are not involved. I'm just saying that from what I've seen. All interactions I've seen, MPD wasn't involved in every one. But I digress. This is another brother right here. Hold up, what is he about to say? He's talking about federal agents in DC. Because I want to get into some of the commentary of some of the people from the city. I wanted Trayon White. He's a council member of DC in Ward 8, and he had an interesting perspective on it. I wasn't expecting, but let me play this this video right before we get into that. Hold on.
If you are Black in DC, please watch this video. You may have noticed, just like I have, that President Donald Trump has encouraged federal law enforcement agencies to patrol the streets of DC. This means that agencies like FBI, U.S. Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, DEA are now patrolling the streets like they are local law enforcement in DC. And so this may produce some questions for us, like, is this legal? Why is this happening? And how should I conduct myself in this climate? I'm going to address these things in this video. A few years ago, DC Council voted to allow federal law enforcement agencies to enforce local laws as if they are extensions of the Metropolitan Police Department. So, for example, FBI, U.S. Marshals have had permission to enforce local laws, such as jaywalking and arresting, citing someone for smoking marijuana or like DUIs. Like they've had permission to do this. So everything that's happening is completely legal. Why is this happening? I grew up in this area. From the time I was a child, there have always been rumblings of the Republican Party wanting to take.
Let's see. Let me just say that one more time because, and that's what I have a problem with because although again, like that type of stuff would be deemed, I mean, not even would be deemed, it is legal, you know, what they're doing. But it's just, again, what has been normalized as far as socially, you know, within the limits of DC is different from what you would consider, or what is considered legal. So that's why I'm like that petty shit like that they're doing, that they stopping people down, they stopping people walking down the street because they're jaywalking. Oh, you know what? Damn, I wanted to play this little clip first before then, actually. I guess I'll listen to what the brother wanted had to say, but I wanted to show y'all this some of the protests, not really a protest, but kind of like many protests that kind of happened out here in DC as well one night. But yeah, that doesn't fix the issue though. You coming after people for petty ass crimes like smoking weed on the corner, like that's, you know what I'm saying, pulling people for dumb shit like that, pulling people over. I seen a brother who got pulled over and it was his birthday, and I forgot, I think he was I don't even think he was driving, I think he was parked, and they made him get out the car. They was trying to get his key, like trying to wrap this brother up, you know what I'm saying? And so like just little stuff like that. And it's like the brother wasn't even doing nothing. He had a weapon. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is that doing really to stop crime? If you're, you know what I'm saying, you're putting people in jail for petty ass reasons. Okay. So yeah, but they know what they're doing. You know, again, this is nothing new. It's a pattern of the white supremacists they've been doing. Okay, especially when it with police, particular when it comes to black to black people, foundation of Black Americans, moreover. But let me let the brother finish. But I do want to play that this clip of this protest that happened.
Take over DC. Like since I was a child, everything that's happening has been said, and like cooler minds prevailed. But there's always been conversation from very far right individuals about taking over DC and what that would look like for them to own and control the city. So this has been a thing, a part of their conversation. I've heard this since I was a child. Finally, how do you conduct yourself in this climate? First of all, I want you all to understand something. Federal agents are not your police officers from DC. They're not. They're from all over the country, and they've been assigned to this area. You could have somebody who's a federal agent who has never really interacted with Black people before in their life. They could be from the middle of nowhere. They became a federal law enforcement agency, whether it was Homeland Security or DEA. They've never really encountered Black people other than on TV. And now they're a federal law enforcement agent, and President Trump has given them license to patrol the streets. A second thing, they are not trained like local law enforcement to patrol the streets. They're not. They don't have the same de-escalation training. They're not taught how to identify people. They also don't have the experience. So it is a very dangerous thing. And there are some people in DC who are like, oh, this is going to clean up the street. What makes you think that? I have 3 degrees. I look no differently from anybody else who's out here. I look no different from somebody who may be breaking into a car. This is not going to make the street safer for anybody. It's going to make it dangerous for all of us. So, how do you conduct yourself? I'm going to tell you to follow the law seriously. If you drink and drive after going out, going to brunch,
follow the law. Stay your black ass at the crib. Okay, essentially. Okay, follow the law. But anyway, even if you do follow the law, it's only so far that's gonna get you though, because they don't really give a damn if you follow the law. They give a damn that you're black. Okay, or else they will be patrolling more areas outside of black ones. Okay. Predominantly black ones, should I say. But yeah, let me play this right quick. This is a news clip of what was happening, what was going on in DC. I think this was just last night. Yeah, this was just last night, actually.
ICE police checkpoint, 14th and V.
Hey everyone, I'm Shamari Stone, first on the scene here at V Street Northwest and 14th Street. There are Border Patrol agents who are stopping people randomly coming up 14th Street, and there's a large crowd here. They are very upset about this. See, this agent here is with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and over here you have MPD officers and you have Homeland Security and federal officers. And there are people who are trying to warn drivers not to come up here at this stop. And these people over here are furious about what's going on.
Don't come back. Get the fuck out. Go. Get off our go. Get off our street. Get off our street. Get off our street.
You got a damn ICE checkpoint. Are you for real? ICE out there with a damn checkpoint. That's insane. Shout out to the people out there. I know it's a lot of mayonnaise in the video, but shout out to them for trying to redirect people from so they wouldn't have to get stopped at that damn checkpoint. That's actually all right.
Get off our street. Get off our street. Get off our street.
There's a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars. I've seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken. No rhyme or reason.
And I just want to tell people at this point that it's not been confirmed. Continue.
That's, yes.
Oh, your rental car. Don't lie to your kids about what you were doing tonight. Make sure they know. Dude, I can see your nose pulled up just a little bit. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So they got them people out there. Y'all know DC is filled. I told her DC is it's hella gentrified. It's a lot of white liberals out in damn DC. Okay, Andrew can say, but who was not feeling what's going on either. That's who was out there. So yeah, definitely be careful for the people who do live in DC. Be careful. Let me just say that before we get on to the next thing. Because they are hard as hell. It's a lot of them people out there. So yeah, just like bro was saying, if you can be drinking and driving, let's try to avoid the drinking and driving. Let's try to avoid even smoking and driving for real. If you ain't got no damn tents, if you driving in a fishbowl, put the blunt down till you get to your destination. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, you ain't got time to get pulled over for no petty shit. It's not worth it. That is not worth it to have any sort of interaction, unnecessary interactions with the feds. Not worth it. Okay. So yeah, just try to stay low for a little bit till these people get up out of here. Okay. Because there ain't really too much going on no damn way. So they ain't really got too much reason to be here for real. So yeah, we'll see how much longer that lasts. But this is also DC councilman's of Ward 8. He posted about what happened. And he actually posted something that he posted that was an old post. He actually did a repost of something he posted from last year. And it's a screenshot of him on CNN. And the title reads, DC Council Member Trayon White calls for National Guard support following rising crime rates. Okay. District saw 922 people shot last year, an increase of 33% from the year before. The city's 198 homicide total was also up 19%. This is a level of violence that we haven't seen in more than a decade, Bowser said. Statistics show that nearly 96% of last year's homicide victims were Black. To counter the dangerous trend, something. Okay, I can't see the rest. But this is what he put in his caption. And this is a quotation, so I guess this is what he said in this interview. I'm not sure, but Trump is not totally wrong on this one. As long as citizens' rights are not violated and we get the other services, police alone cannot end crime. I have never seen this many women and kids shot in our community ever. It was not popular. It was not popular opinion, but over 2 years ago, I called for additional support in D.C. after 922 people were shot in DC in 1 year. Not just law enforcement, but resources. I understand, I understand that Trump is doing this now after a staffer was assaulted. But just weeks ago, I visited baby Azori, who was 1 year old and shot. On July 4th, 2025, baby Honesty, who was 3 years old, who was killed. Last week, we had 5 people shot around here, including a shooting in Navy Yard last night. It's not popular, but I hear from our senior citizens that they are afraid. I'm not against additional support led by DC, not a takeover in the community, especially when AK-47s and 30-40 rounds are prevalent at these crime scenes and MPD numbers are low. This should also include more after-school programs, housing support, career placement, violence interrupters, substance abuse services, and more. Because we can't arrest our way out of the problem. We can't. I'm glad he knows that. I'm glad he put that in it. We have to deal with the core issues as well. We need our 1 billion back so we can make these things happen. We'll be back in the community this week with men working and providing solutions. Men's meeting coming up Wednesday. Stay tuned. So yeah, that was his post, and he had some pushback when he did have some pushback on his post in the comments. The comments was going a little left. Okay, a lot of people was in the comments like, nah, policing ain't it, bring more police in, that's not the solution. So he did a follow-up post as well. And let me say this too, because he says that what did he say? The city's 198 homicide was also up 19%. But I could have didn't I just start with, give me 1 second. Mayor Browser said on the Breakfast Club that last year was the lowest crime rate. So maybe she meant crime rate in general. But their homicide rate is up because I could have sworn she said something about the homicide rate too, though. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. If y'all remember, you can double back, or if you can double back. But I could have sworn she said something about the homicide rate too. But okay. But Trayon said that the homicide rate was up 19%. But he did a follow-up post. And this was not only after that post, but after Donald Trump did a press conference. So this is actually his reaction to the press conference, but I think also to some of the comments in some of the comments he had under that initial post, because it sounds like he's responding to that as well. But let's see.
Love, this is Trayon White, councilmember, Washington, D.C. After listening to President Trump's press conference today, I want to offer a few thoughts. Public safety is a priority for everyone in Washington, D.C., and we have work to do. I'm not going to act like we don't, because we do. I think that what I heard today was vastly different than I read in the president's executive order. In the president's executive order, it stated that he can call upon the mayor to provide assistance based on a 30-day emergency. What I saw today and heard today on the press conference, this is a takeover. And I think this clearly speaks to statehood. We not able to have full democracy and exercise our rights as other citizens in the United States. And I think we have done well economically in the district. We've grown from when I got here, was at $14.5 billion. We've grown to a $22 billion budget. We have a AAA bond rating and economically sound for at least 2 decades. And so we have the ability to govern ourselves. I think that's not the issue. And I think that we can do better of communicating some of our wins that we've done over the years. But the reality is today is really concerning. One of the things that concerned me was about policing and how to police. I think there's been some friction in the Black community between community police relations. And I heard Trump say, if you spit, we hit, and we hit real hard. And we went on to say something about now we will allow you to do whatever the hell you need to do. And that's, MPD has standard operating procedures. They also have laws that have to be governed by and regulations. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. And we should always want to have a community where people in law enforcement get along. And that should be, given the right to just do whatever you want to any individual because you wear a badge. It has to be a check and balance. I also heard the president say we get rid of the criminals and the slums in which they live in. And I don't know DC has slums. Now, we have some areas that's economically challenged, but even in those areas, we have people who are great people, working class people that work every day that want to see their community be safe and be beautiful. And so we have to honor those people as well. And what I do know is those poverty-stricken areas in DC are not white areas. It's predominantly African-American communities of color. And so I don't want this to be an attack on Black and brown people in DC. And that's the kind of feel I got from it. And I think that we have to have a holistic approach to addressing crime, because I know what works. I know what worked for me, and that means that love worked for me. Somebody cared for me, somebody lift me up, somebody encouraged me, mentorship, great parenting, great schools, a quality healthcare system, wraparound services, mental health services, substance abuse service. These are the things, home ownership, business ownership. These are the things that work, that help people not with a handout, but with a hand up in our community. And that's what we need. Not just policing. We know for a fact that arresting people is not the end-all solution to addressing crime. It has to be a holistic approach to addressing these crimes. And I heard something, even seeing the legislation that came through about arresting 14, 15, 16-year-olds and charging them as adults. We already have Title 16 here, but to put, and I do believe that young people have to be held accountable, right? Because you have to learn, you have to grow. But to put a 14 or 15-year-old in a federal penitentiary, because that's what it is, DC is not a state, so we go to the feds, with a 55-year-old, 65-year-old, 25-year-old, it's not.
Absolutely insane. That's absolute insanity. There's no way in the hell, in no world, no context, no crime, do I see you justifying putting a 14-year-old in the feds. That's absolutely crazy. To put him in a federal prison with, like you just said, 40, 50-year-old men who's in there for probably more heinous crimes, that's been there in there a lot longer, that the things that could be done to him. Did y'all not watch Central Park 5? EGREGIOUS. Yeah, no, there's no way in the hell. I'm sorry. That's a terrible idea. I'm 100% behind him on that. Hell to now.
Healthy for the young person. So we have to rethink what's the best method. And that is reaching them early on, getting them outlets and solutions and wraparound services. And those need to be held accountable, absolutely, but not with grown men and adults in a federal penitentiary, away from their families, away from their homes. And so we believe that statehood is a solution. And we have to really.
Let me say that too, because a lot of the people who are, I'm not going to say are for. Well, yeah, I'll say that too. A lot of people who are for him bringing in these federal agencies into DC, and even some of the people who aren't necessarily for it, but are concerned about the crime rates and the youth. I will say on both sides, the people who are in support of this to any degree, their main concern is the youth. A lot of the problems is that, and not really even just necessarily the youth that's in DC, but the youth that comes to DC. You got youth coming from Maryland and Virginia that come to DC and cause havoc. Okay, these fake me out ass, wannabe ass, what's T.I. Sunday? I forgot, but wannabe ass gangsters. Yeah. They come to DC and be doing shit that they wouldn't do inside their suburbs of Maryland or Virginia. Okay, so that's a big problem, is the youth coming there and causing a lot of havoc and chaos. All right. So yeah, that's why I'm like that. But the solution is not to send them to a federal prison. That's just absolutely asinine. That's not the solution. Like you said, it has to be. I like the way he worded it, a holistic approach. Okay. The youth needs something else to do. Okay. The youth needs some guidance. The youth needs some resources. The youth need, et cetera, and that will lower the crime rate. Not just going out there and arresting a bunch of young niggas doing petty crimes like breaking into cars, because that's one of the main things that a lot of the young people out there do, is breaking the cars. You go to DC, that's why don't nobody want to park in DC, because you go to DC, leave it on the street, depending on what street, depending on what time of day. You come back to your car and a window or two might be broken. Honestly, your stuff might not even be gone. Honestly, that didn't happen to that. A couple of people I know, they parked in DC, their car got broken into, nothing was gone. Everything was still in the vehicle, but the fucking window was broke, okay? Or your car might get stolen, okay? So that's like one of the main two things that people worry about when you talk when it comes to driving in DC. And a lot of that, it comes from the youth, you know what I'm saying, that the young people that be out there. And also I do keep a 10-4 bonnet on for that too, though, because I do think it's kind of weird. I think that might be some insurance scam shit as well. It might be just weird that people have, like, I know multiple people whose cars have been, the windows just got broke, but their belongings was still very much in the car. Nothing in the car was even touched, to say the least. So it's like, who the fuck is going around just breaking windows? You telling me young people going around just breaking fucking windows just for fun? I doubt it. It's giving insurance scam. Okay. So it's giving they trying to get some money out of people's pockets. But that is still, I digress, that is still an issue that a lot of people have.
Hone in on and figure out how we can make that work in the district. I know we have a long way to go with that. But I'm committed, we're committed, and I can't do this without you. I'm gonna add a second video to this later on, but I just want to say that we can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. I want to say this to Pam Bondi, USAO for DC. We got to work together to ensure that we can build a stronger, safer DC together. My name is Trayon White, and I approve this message.
So yeah, shout out to Trayon. Yeah, I'm still not with the bringing the federales, and I don't see how that benefits us as FBAs in particular at all. Okay, that's not something that's going to okay boost us. I like the holistic approach thing, but that part of it, the feds being coming to and patrolling locals, that I don't think that should even be a part of it, to be honest. But now this is another aspect of it, real quick. Another aspect of what's going on. Apparently, some sort of music festival was going on near DC, and it moved to DC, or it might be moving towards DC, something to that effect. I'm gonna let the brother get into it and kind of break down, but they're saying that that basically that festival, quote unquote music festival, may be some sort of trap for Black Americans to go out there, think it's some fun shit going on, and then you get caught up with the feds, because the feds just wait for y'all to come out with surrounding the festival and trying to infiltrate it and lock people up. So yeah, but let me let this brother talk about it.
Only one that's seeing the videos of the National Guard jumping out of helicopters with parachutes, landing on the 24-hour music festival that has extended its way to DC. I want you guys to know this is not normal. They're going to try so hard to convince people that them flying out of the sky armed in order to control the U.S. citizens that pay the taxes, for them to do that to begin with is normal. They're going to try very hard. What's happening in DC is happening in LA, it's happening in Portland. And right now, especially I think with DC, because DC wasn't even like a really big protest city. I'm sure they were having their demonstrations, but in comparison to LA or Portland, I feel like DC is the first step before we start seeing things happening like that in Phoenix, New York, legitimately anywhere he feels like there are enough people that don't like him. I guarantee we start to see this. Please prepare yourselves. I'm not telling you this is the end. I'm not telling you the sky is falling down, but in the world where they're sending in military troops to fall out of that same sky, it's important to be aware of what's going on. Last thing you want to be doing is driving to work and seeing that. You're not going to know what to do if you don't know.
Yeah, that is egregious. But damn, National Guard, them niggas hopping out of planes. They flying on top of damn buildings. This is what I mean. Okay, so this is what I mean. What I'm saying, they talking about MPD and the National Guard, or MPD and these federal agencies in general. They're supposed to be working together. I know MPD ain't jumping out no damn planes with no parachutes to go on top of no damn buildings. That ain't no damn MPD. Now maybe they was on the ground level waiting for them. You know, they had their own positions on the ground, possibly. Okay, but from that footage he was just showing, that was just the National Guard. So yeah, again, it's given they doing whatever the hell they want to do. Okay, because MPD ain't jumping on no damn place. That ain't happening. Okay. Let me play this sister too. This is a elder right here. She's talking about this, touching on this music festival thing too, but also just I think the feds in DC.
Please do not attend that music festival that may or may not be taking place in Washington, D.C. The best thing you could do is get your kids out the streets, go home, and figure out how to avoid needing to purchase tickets to any music festival in the first place. Because while the powers that be in Washington, D.C. are on some BS, some of that is on us. So please do not attend, because you know they looking for us to get out there anyway, so they have more of a reason to gaffle us up at these music festivals.
Yeah, and that's what it's giving. So I'm like, that's hey, stay your ass in the crib. I mean, you ain't gotta stay in the crib per se if you don't want to. I suppose I ain't gotta say that. You ain't gotta stay in the crib, but I do think I would advise that you at least be mindful if you're going to go out, of how many people you're going to be around. I wouldn't do big, large crowds, big, large events. Keep it small, keep it comfortable, keep it intimate, keep it cool. Do a little lounge. I wouldn't go getting belligerently drunk at a club. Nah, if you're gonna take a few shots, get a little lit, keep it cool. All right. Make sure you got a designated driver if you're gonna take an Uber, whatever the case may be. Okay, make sure your tags is right, your headlights is right, all of that. Okay, just make sure that the basics is out the way, so you don't have you don't got no obvious reasons they can come over and interact with you. Okay. So yeah, I would just be mindful of that, even if you're not going to stay in the house. But I definitely wouldn't advise. I didn't even hear no damn music festival. And when I Googled it, DC Music Festival, and I'm looking up National Guard, I'm looking it up, I can't even find it. So I'm like, it's given that might be some sort of psyop. Might be given some sort of again, like setup that the feds put together to trick people into coming out and getting locked up for some dumb shit. So yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I definitely wouldn't trust that damn festival. Hell to nah. I just happened to move over to DC, and why would anybody who's running a festival, who in their right mind would bring it to DC knowing that this is going on right now? You're gonna bring a bunch of fucking people to DC to have a festival when it's it's hundreds of federal agents in the city? That don't even make sense. Like, it sounds like you're trying to get somebody killed or locked up. So yeah, I wouldn't trust that at all whatsoever. Yeah, but I think that was my last little, hold up, is this I'm not playing that already. Was that the last one? I think that might have been the last one. Factually, let me just make sure. My bad. But yeah, egregious, man. Yeah, make sure y'all be careful out here, because it's definitely getting real. These people are out here heavy. Okay, they out here deep. Don't make it easy for them to profile you. Practice the gray man method, blend in. Exactly. Keep it cool, lay back, chill, blend in. You feel me? As much as you can, because they're gonna look for your black ass anyways. But okay, or they're gonna see your black ass. They may. But try to blend in though, for real. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep it cool. Don't try to bring too much attention to yourself, because you don't want that ain't the type of attention you want. Just wait till these niggas get up out of here. They shouldn't be here for long. Wait till they get up on out of here. And then, we'll see. We'll go from there. I think they said he got until September, if I'm not mistaken. For them to be here, if I'm not mistaken. Is it till September? Let me just make sure. Actually, let me Google it very quick. Actually, I think Mary Bronze was said inside one of the videos I played, actually. Or was it a week? Am I tripping? No, I don't think it was a week. I think it was control 30 days. Okay, lasting for a maximum of 30. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically September, yeah. He got a max of 30 days. So yeah, around like mid-September, we'll see what the next move is going to be. And hopefully they're the hell up out of here by then. Unfortunately, they're looking for cheap labor. The prison system is a loophole for modern day slavery. Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's nothing new. They've always used this for that, and that's also goes back to why it's different than people getting snatched up for ICE, because these people are getting sent back to their homeland. We are getting sent to basically fields. All right, we're gonna sit back to the field essentially. So yeah, definitely different. Okay. They still don't like that out there. Yeah, they are. You know, the young folk in DC. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's the some of the petty crime as far as that. Yeah, that's something that's egregious. To have to worry about, but it hasn't been bad. That's why I'm like the crime going down makes sense because it hasn't been too bad, at least from what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? And what I've experienced going to DC this last year or so. Shit ain't been too crazy. Again, outside of the few car break-ins that some of my friends and family have experienced over the last year. Actually, I think the last time somebody broke into somebody's car I know was, I want to say, like, I think it was last year. Actually, I don't think that's happened this year. It's August. I feel like it was, I think, last year. The last time something like that happened, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's been pretty cool for the last year or so. Nothing too crazy, but we're gonna see. My main concern is the young men, okay, young brothers out there. Make sure y'all stay low, okay, because they definitely, y'all are for sure the number one targets. The young brothers out there. So yeah, I definitely want them to stay low, stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Don't carry too much shit in your book bags. I know a lot of young brothers like to carry these bags and they got weed in them. You know, I have reacted to a video not too long ago with brothers sitting outside in DC. And it was actually MPD who walked up to him. This was a few weeks ago before this happened, before all these federal agents got out here. But MPD was going around harassing people, and they walked up to him and seeing that somebody's bag was open on the ground. They would start searching the bag. Oh, they found it might have been over 2 ounces, the legal amount inside the bag. Oh, whose bag is this? Whose bag is this? Somebody, and nobody was on cold. Anybody say that? Anybody flinch? Anybody look away? You know what I'm saying? Or look at nobody trying to little, you know what I'm saying, fake snitch on somebody. So yeah, but she was cool. You know what I'm saying? They knew how to interact with the police, which was staying stoic, minding your business, not saying what you, if you ain't got, not saying nothing, if you ain't got to say nothing, you know what I'm saying? And knowing they right. So yeah, prayerfully, that's how a lot of the brothers within this time that these federal agents out here, prayerfully, that's how a lot of the brothers move. Because yeah, it's just not worth it, man. Especially dealing with the feds, you're dealing with a bigger beast. Let me say that. MPD is one thing, local police is one thing, but federales, man, them crackers don't play. Let me just say that. Okay. Again, going back to even with I said that too, but what the brother has said, just said in that video as well, that these are federal agents from across the country. You know what I'm saying? You might have, you know, I'm glad he said that. You might have a officer who's never interacted with black people before. You might have a non-FBA officer who don't like FBAs. Okay, I'm just saying, maybe he came from a part of the country where it's not a lot of FBAs. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of non-FBAs, a lot of white people, it's a lot of immigrants where they live in general. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't interact with FBAs like that, and they don't like us as well. They have some prejudice against us. So yeah, we have to be careful of those. And I've seen a couple videos where they would say, matter of fact, that video I was just talking about earlier, where it was the brother's birthday. He got pulled outside his car. It was a brother that was holding him. He was, and I think that was MPD. I don't think that was a federal agency he was interacting with, who did that. I think that was MPD, but it was a brother who was holding him. And he was like, "Damn, you supposed to be a brother. Why you letting him do me like this? You supposed to be a brother." So it's like, you know, all skin folk ain't kin folk. We know this. But yeah, we got to be careful because these federal agents, these people in the MPD who's trying to impress, try to fake and try to puff up their chests, and act like they really standing on business out here. Because a lot of these MPD officers be getting shitted on. Okay, I'm gonna be real. A lot of these MPD officers be getting played with by DC residents. Okay, I'm just saying, niggas up here do not go. Don't go like that, okay? They be going on these these police officers up here. They know their rights, and they will damn sure let you know that they do, okay? Matter of fact, I had just seen a sister. Damn, I wish I had that video. Let me see. That's actually a good video to play too. A sister who was up there, and she got stopped for some for a petty ass reason. Oh, this is right here. I might have sent this to myself. But she got stopped for some petty shit, and she was telling the officer, I mean, she was talking, you know what I'm saying whatever she felt she needed to say to these damn officers, without hesitation. But this is a typical interaction. Let me hold up. I do want to play this. This is a typical interaction with a DC resident and MPD. Hold up, I'm gonna play this because we got to be careful because some of these MPD officers are going to try pump fake like they not out here getting punked the way they usually are by DC residents. And so they might try to show out a little bit. We got to be careful of that. But this is let me play this.
Thinking I was somebody they was looking for.
She's smart. She got a smart ass mouth. 5. I do too though. I promise you. I do. I don't know what the fuck wrong with
I'm sorry, and it says DC police stopped me thinking I was somebody they was looking for.
you. I do. I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. Boy, I promise you, if you ain't had that uniform, I promise you. I ain't say nothing. I know not to make threats. You think I'm dumb? Get your geeking ass on somewhere. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to her. I'm gonna say what I want. Y'all just messed up the wrong person. No, I promise you. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I can't make threats. I know what I can do. I can't make threats. I said if she had a uniform, she wouldn't talk like that. That's what I said. Stay over there. What I say then? What I say? Want me to play the video? Because I'm recording. You want to play the video? All right then. Fuck wrong with you. Y'all be slow as shit. Najee Allen. Because I'm hot and I'm irritated, I just got off the train and I'm ready to go home. No, it's irritating. I don't like how y'all talking. I'm ready to go home. Yeah. And I was on the rude to her. I said, can you just cut me down because it's all boys right here?
So yeah, shout out to the young sister. She said I'm making threats. I said if you ain't had a uniform on, then yeah, you wouldn't be talking like that. And that ain't no damn threat. I'm just saying you wouldn't be because again, a lot of them hide behind that damn badge. They already like to pump fake around that damn when they put on that damn badge, thinking they got a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They get a little power strong with that little badge on. Okay, that's why a lot of people gotta humble their ass anyways. But interactions like that is not really uncommon in DC or really in the DMV area, to be honest, but especially in DC, people know how to they stand 10 toes. You know what I'm saying? People in DC really stand 10 toes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video too right quick. This is the video with a brother I was talking about whose birthday was. I'm gonna just play his too. Because this is another example of how brothers are out. Brothers, that was the sister, but this is how brothers, but really people in general, they both got the brother and the sister got the same energy in both of these videos. But I'm gonna show his because this is how usually how a lot of brothers in DC interact with the police.
So you said, bro, I wasn't even smoking though, bro. I first said, bro, you don't do me like that, bro. Come on, bro. Don't do me like that. You can't see it up off the ground, bro.
Oh, and this is I don't know if y'all can hear as well, but just to give y'all some context, it was some people out here, some brothers out here just smoking. Again, petty shit. Just out here smoking a couple J's. They stopped this one particular brother for doing it and put him in handcuffs. And yeah, that's we're going from there.
Everybody's saying that, bro. Don't do me like that, bro.
At least put up.
And that's not just MPD. That's not just MPD out there.
You want to do like that, bro? My car's on, though. Hold on, bro. Man, listen, no, ain't none of that. My car's on. I was about to leave. He said I could leave. Fuck all that. Man, listen, all that secure vehicle shit, bro. Go ahead, bro. Y'all like Dickie and bro. Listen, bro, that's my car, bro. What the fuck? Man, listen, the key is on me and I'm not giving it to y'all, bro. Don't text me, bro. Listen, my ID is on me. That's all he asked. Why am I arrested? Listen, why am I arrested? I don't listen, why? Y'all niggas think y'all can do whatever y'all want. I don't give a fuck about that badge. I'm a personal trainer, nigga. And I was a fire department, nigga. What is wrong with y'all? Man, listen, I'm not arrested though. I'm not going nowhere. Listen, I'm not going nowhere.
That actually might be. I thought I seen another uniform on there. Maybe all of them are MPD. I'm not sure about on the other side. I feel like I seen somebody else on the other side with a different uniform. But
your chief, I'm not going nowhere. It's my birthday and all that. Call your chief. Fuck all that. Take your badge off. I bet I do something to your ass. Take your badge off. Fuck, you gonna let them niggas do me like that, bro? You a brother, bro. Take off me, man. I don't want you touching me, bro. I don't want you touching me. He already got me. Fuck on. Yeah, how about that? Freedom of speech. Fuck on. Freedom of speech. How about that now? Y'all come on, arrested. Fuck on. Come on, man. Y'all hating like shit on me, man. I ain't from. Man,
Yeah, again, man. Shout out to that brother. It was that brother's birthday, man. That's egregious. Gotta deal with some shit like that on your birthday, man. That's outrageous, egregious, everything between. But yeah, again, that's how a lot of the brothers talk out here. Don't fucking touch me. He already got me. A lot of the brothers out here. I've seen my brother. I've seen my father. I've seen men in my family personally talk to police officers like that or similarly like that before. Okay. And without consequence, because it shouldn't be no damn consequence. It's freedom of speech. Especially if they're not threatening you. So yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm like, we gotta brothers be careful because these hot ass officers, these wannabe fed officers might be trying to impress their counterparts, their federally counterparts and or co-workers and do too much. So yeah, be careful, man. I digress with you. Y'all definitely be careful out of DC, man. Shit is getting real out here in these streets. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I probably cover it again because it's supposed to go on again for 30 days. So we'll see. I'm gonna continue to see what's going on. Maybe I can go out and get some real life news coverage. I know how I like to do. I like to get on the scene sometimes. So maybe I'll try to go somewhere and get on the scene. So y'all can kind of see what's going on in real life. I don't know. I feel like this might spark some protests of some sort. Like I said, I did show that one little mini protest that had broke out. So maybe this will spark some sort of protest or something. If it does, maybe I'll try to visit one. If it's not too hot. Okay, because y'all know some of these joints be like just setups for them to be arrested niggas. I'm not about to be out there with no white ass liberals talking about Black Lives Matter, free and we going against ICE and all this other shit. Okay, gotta be the right setup. Okay, for me to be out there, you know what I'm saying, trying to see what the protests talking about. Again, because DC is just too many intersectional agendas, too much confusion, too much CIA involvement. Let me just say that. So yeah, gotta be careful out here. But yeah, maybe I will try. I am going to try to get some ground footage for y'all on the news in real life, real time. And try to go live if something is going on that I have access to get to, or I feel comfortable, safe enough going to. But yeah, I will stay safe. Stay safe, ZZ. I will. I appreciate you, Tahada. I'm gonna stay safe. Okay, that's why we're gonna move smart. But I want to get y'all that B1 News. You feel me? We B1 Media over here. All right. But shout out to y'all in the chat. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all some real ones for rocking with the realest. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Please like this video right now. Like the video right now. Please share it on Twitter, share it to a friend, share it on Instagram, whatever the hell. I don't give a damn. Share it to somebody, okay? And comment on the video before you leave. I see how many people up in here. Every last one of y'all, get under this video, comment on something we talked about, okay? Or comment on, you know what I'm saying, Trump bringing all these feds to DC, all right? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I appreciate you. I do. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok, ZZ Rants. Twitter, ZZ Rants X, you know what I mean? ZZ Rants, all platforms, ZZ Rants. Subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, share the video. Don't forget to comment, okay? But again, shout out to the chat. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one again. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna double back and just go live tomorrow night. I do got something to do tomorrow afternoon. Me and Afro going live on For the Culture tomorrow afternoon, actually, early tomorrow afternoon. At like 1 o'clock, we going live. Oh, I don't got nothing to do tomorrow night. I lied. I don't got nothing to do tomorrow night. I lied. I got something to do Saturday night. Anyways, Friday afternoon, tomorrow, For the Culture. Make sure you subscribe to For the Culture because me and Afro Elite, shout out to my good brother, we are going live on For the Culture channel, okay? So yeah, make sure y'all tune in to check that out. And then tomorrow night, I'm probably going to double back and do it in other news live because we got a couple other things I wanted to touch on that's already went down. So yeah, y'all look out for that. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all some real ones for rocking for the real. Y'all some real ones for rocking with the realest. My mouth kind of dry. Sorry. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Shout out to you, Double O Chaos, Marcus Moore, FBA or nothing, Tahada, BX, Mansoor, FBA or nothing. I'm sorry, I just said that one. Marcus Moore, Gerald Glover. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace. B1.
We do not play, but I agree. You fuck with the team. Might find your West in the creek. We crossing our fees. We don't never miss a beat.